Imagine the chill of a moonlit forest, the scent of damp earth and pine needles sharp in the air. This is the setting where the boundary between man and beast blurred, where the primal instincts of the wolf were believed to surge through human veins. This transformation wasn't just physical, it was a psychological descent. Folklore paints a picture of a mind consumed, reason overridden by a savage hunger, a wildness that knew no law. The terror lay not only in the fangs and claws, but in the loss of self, the surrender to an ancient, untamed power. Through whispered accounts and chilling eyewitness testimonies from centuries past, we can almost feel the tremor of that internal struggle, the agonizing shift from familiar humanity to the terrifying embodiment of the wild. You are alone in the woods, the scent of pine thick in the air, but the scent is changing, a metallic tang, a primal hunger. The moon, a sliver of bone in the darkening sky, begins to swell. Then, it's not just the moon, it's a fever, a burning in your veins. You feel it first in your hands, a tingling, then a searing pain as your fingers lengthen, your nails thickening into claws. Your jaw aches, stretching, the sound of snapping bone, a horrific symphony. Your skin tightens, hair erupts, coarse and dark. The world blurs into a mosaic of scent and sound, the rustle of leaves, the distant cry of prey. You are no longer human. You are the hunt. This visceral transformation, this terrifying relinquishing of reason for instinct, lies at the heart of humanity's oldest and most persistent nightmares. The werewolf is more than a monster of fiction. It is a mirror reflecting our deepest anxieties about the untamed forces within ourselves and the wildness that lurks just beyond the firelight. From ancient Greek legends to medieval European whispers, the lycanthrope has stalked the shadows of our collective imagination. The transformation, as ancient whispers describe it, was not a gentle metamorphosis, but a violent rending of the self. Observe the details. The trembling of hands, a prelude to bone and sinew rearranging themselves, each strained breath, a desperate gasp against the tide of primal instinct taking hold. Through the skeletal branches of the forest, moonlight, the ancient catalyst, casts shifting patterns, illuminating a body fighting its own familiar form in distorted reflections, a fleeting glimpse of the man, overwhelmed by the burgeoning beast. These are not mere physical changes, but a visceral agony, an abstract representation of a soul at war with its deepest, most savage impulses, amplified by the relentless thrumming of a heart beating a rhythm of pure, untamed ferocity. The genesis of the werewolf myth is as ancient and shadowed as the forest from which it emerged. While many associate the creature with medieval Europe, its roots delve far deeper, entwined with the earliest human attempts to understand the primal forces of nature and our own wilder instincts. Across vast swathes of Eurasia, ancient cultures spoke of shapeshifters, individuals who could commune with or embody the spirit of the wolf. Consider the Hittites of Anatolia, whose texts from the 2nd millennium BCE speak of a curse upon a king, condemning him to become a wolf, or the Greeks with tales of Lycaon, the Arcadian king who, in his hubris, was transformed by Zeus into a wolf, forever a symbol of the terrifying consequences of challenging the divine. These early narratives are not merely tales of monstrous transformation, but potent metaphors for the dual nature of humanity, the civilized veneer and the untamed beast that slumbers beneath. This primal terror, this agonizing shift, is as old as humanity itself. But where did this legend begin? Was it the fear of the wild, the beast outside, or the beast within? For millennia, as our ancestors huddled around flickering fires, the untamed darkness beyond the firelight held its own terrors. The howl of the wolf, a sound both mournful and menacing, echoed through the primal forests, a constant reminder of the predatory world that surrounded them. It was a world where survival was a daily struggle, and the wolf, apex predator and formidable hunter, embodied the raw, untamed power of nature. Yet, the terror of the werewolf transcended mere observation. It delved into something deeper, a disquieting introspection. Did the primal urges, the sudden bursts of rage, the inexplicable desires that sometimes stirred within them, suggest a shared lineage with these wild creatures? Perhaps the legend wasn't just about the wolf in the woods, but the wolf that lurked dormant in the human heart. The legend of the werewolf, this primal fear of transformation, stretches back further than we often imagine, weaving its way through the very dawn of human storytelling. Our journey begins not in medieval Europe, but in the dusty scrolls of antiquity, where whispers of man-beasts first took hold. Consider the Epic of Gilgamesh, Mesopotamia's ancient masterpiece, dating back nearly 4 millennia. Here, the goddess Ishtar, scorned by the hero, transforms her former lover, a shepherd, into a wolf. This isn't a tale of voluntary lycanthropy, but a divine curse, a stark reminder of the brutal power attributed to animalistic rage even in those early civilizations. Further west, Greek mythology offers Lycaon, king of Arcadia, a figure whose hubris led to his gruesome metamorphosis. According to Ovid, Lycaon tested Zeus's omniscience by serving him human flesh, a monstrous act that earned him the wrath of the gods and a permanent place as a wolf on the Arcadian hills. These early narratives, though varied in their specifics, all tap into a shared unease. The blurring of boundaries between man and beast, the terrifying possibility of losing one's humanity to an insatiable predatory nature. Our journey into the heart of the werewolf myth leads us eastward, to the cradle of civilization itself, Mesopotamia. Here, amidst the Fertile Crescent, the epic tale of Gilgamesh unfolds, a narrative that offers one of the earliest glimpses into the primal fear of human transformation. Within this ancient poem, a pivotal encounter reveals the divine wrath of the goddess Ishtar. Enraged by Gilgamesh's rejection, she turns her fury upon a humble shepherd, a man who had once served her faithfully. This once honored individual, cursed by the goddess, is condemned to a terrifying fate. He is transformed into a wolf, a creature of the wild, his humanity stripped away by divine decree. This potent image, etched into clay tablets millennia ago, speaks to a deep-seated understanding of the beast that lurks beneath the surface of civilization, a primal essence that can be unleashed by powerful forces, both divine and internal. It is a chilling testament to the enduring power of transformation in human storytelling. Our journey into the heart of lycanthropy begins not in the moonlit forests of medieval Europe, but in the sun-drenched cradle of Western civilization, ancient Greece. Here, amidst tales of gods and heroes, we encounter the chilling legend of Lycaon, king of Arcadia. Lycaon, a ruler notorious for his impiety and a grotesque act of cannibalism, serving human flesh to the very gods, incurred the wrath of Zeus himself. The thunder god, disguised and testing the king's hospitality, witnessed this ultimate transgression. As divine punishment, Zeus unleashed a terrible curse, transforming Lycaon into a wolf, forever condemned to roam the earth in bestial form. This primal myth illuminates a profound ancient concept: divine retribution. It blurs the sacred boundary between man and beast, suggesting that extreme moral corruption could indeed strip away one's humanity, unleashing a primal, savage nature. Lycaon's transformation is a stark, enduring reminder of the delicate balance between our civilized selves and the wildness that lurks beneath. As the Roman Empire rose to prominence, its vast reach absorbed and reinterpreted existing myths, weaving them into its own rich tapestry. Among the most influential sources for our understanding of ancient shapeshifter lore is Ovid's monumental work, Metamorphoses. Here, Ovid masterfully recounts tales of transformation, including the tragic story of Lycaon, the king cursed by Jupiter to become a wolf. This narrative, more than just a myth, served as a powerful exploration of divine punishment and the terrifying potential for humanity to descend into bestiality. Ovid's vivid descriptions painted a chilling picture of this metamorphosis, offering a potent literary precedent for the werewolf archetype. The enduring power of these Roman tales, passed down through generations and echoed in countless retellings, solidified the image of the wolfman in the Western imagination, a creature forever tied to the wild, untamed forces lurking beneath the veneer of civilization. As Europe entered the Middle Ages, the werewolf transformed from a creature of myth into a potent symbol of fear and suspicion, inextricably linked with the burgeoning anxieties surrounding witchcraft. The Church, grappling with heresy and what it perceived as diabolical influence, began to interpret lycanthropy not merely as a folk tale, but as a tangible manifestation of demonic pacts. This era saw the lines blur between the wild, untamed beast and the human dabbling in forbidden arts. In this climate, accusations of lycanthropy became a weapon, often leveled against those already ostracized. The ability to shapeshift, once a mark of ancient primal power, was now twisted into evidence of a soul corrupted, a body surrendered to Satan. From the grim chronicles of witch trials to whispered confessions extracted under duress, the image of the werewolf evolved, becoming a chilling indictment of those believed to consort with darkness, forever cementing its place in the fearful tapestry of medieval demonology. As Christianity spread across Europe, the ancient reverence for the wolf began to warp. No longer simply a formidable predator of the wild, the wolf became increasingly entwined with darker spiritual forces. The untamed nature of the wolf, its predatory prowess, and its association with the night all lent themselves to a sinister interpretation. The Church, seeking to consolidate its authority and explain away the inexplicable, began to link the wolf directly to the devil and the insidious grip of demonic possession. This association wasn't merely symbolic. Tales emerged of individuals possessed by demonic spirits who, in their frenzied states, took on lupine forms, their human souls consumed by bestial evil. The werewolf, in this context, was not just a shapeshifter, but a horrifying manifestation of the devil's power, a living testament to the corruption that could infect even the human soul. The wilderness, once a place of potent, primal spirits, now harbored the tangible threat of infernal influence, and the wolf, its most iconic inhabitant, became the ultimate embodiment of this encroaching darkness. But the werewolf's shadow stretched far beyond the realm of myth and campfire tales. In the grim reality of early modern Europe, the fear of lycanthropy manifested in chilling legal proceedings known as the werewolf trials. Across centuries, individuals were accused, tried, and often condemned for allegedly transforming into wolves and committing unspeakable acts. These were not mere accusations of madness. They were often rooted in deeply ingrained societal anxieties, the horrors of war, famine, and plague, manifesting as accusations of demonic pacts and bestial transformations. Consider the grim cases of Peter Stubb, the werewolf of Bedburg, or Gilles Garnier, the werewolf of Dole. Their confessions, often extracted under duress and torture, painted a terrifying picture of men willingly embracing the wolf's form, driven by insatiable bloodlust. These trials, though rare, reveal a society grappling with the monstrous, both external and internal, seeking to purge the perceived evil that lurked not only in the moonlit forests but within the very fabric of their communities. For centuries, the nature of the werewolf's transformation was debated. shifting from divine punishment to something far more insidious. Initially, lycanthropy was often framed as a curse, a divine retribution for egregious sins, or a consequence of displeasing the gods. This perspective imbued the afflicted with a tragic, almost biblical weight. Yet, as the medieval period dawned, theological interpretations began to morph. The concept of a demonic pact, a willful surrender of the soul for monstrous power, gained traction. This offered a different kind of agency, a darker bargain struck in shadowed woods. Later still, a more terrifying idea emerged: contagion. The possibility that lycanthropy could be passed from one person to another like a sickness through a bite or a scratch painted the werewolf not as a victim of fate or sin, but as an active agent of monstrous plague, a biological horror that could spread unchecked. Our journey into the werewolf's enduring myth begins not in the shadowed forests of modern cinema, but etched into the very fabric of human history. Gaze upon the ancient artwork and the intricate illustrations found within medieval manuscripts, where the beast's form is first meticulously rendered. Here we see not just a monster, but a profound reflection of primal fears. Tracing the threads of this legend, we explore historical texts, their brittle pages whispering tales of transformation and terror. Maps unfurl, revealing the remarkable geographical spread of werewolf folklore, a testament to its deep resonance across cultures and continents. These visual anchors ground us as we delve into dramatic reenactments of pivotal origin stories, bringing to life the ancient narratives that shaped our understanding of this primal archetype. And then we confront the chilling archival imagery related to the witch trials, a somber reminder of how folklore could tragically intersect with real-world persecution. Yet, the legend of the werewolf does not reside solely in the dusty archives of history. Even in our modern, technologically saturated world, whispers of the lycanthrope persist. These are not the grand pronouncements of medieval witch trials, but often hushed accounts, personal testimonies shared in the shadows of isolated communities or across the digital expanse. From the remote wildernesses of North America to the ancient forests of Eastern Europe, reports surface with unnerving regularity, fleeting glimpses of a hulking lupine figure, chilling howls that defy natural explanation, or the unsettling aftermath of unexplained animalistic attacks. These encounters, though often dismissed by mainstream science, speak to an enduring human fascination with the primal, the untamed, and the terrifying possibility that a beast might indeed lurk, not just in folklore, but within the very fabric of our shared reality. The pyres of the Inquisition, once burning with the fear of heresy and witchcraft, have long since faded into ash. Yet, the shadow of the werewolf, that primal embodiment of untamed nature and hidden ferocity, continues to linger. In our modern world, far removed from the echoing cries of medieval trials, the whispers of the beast still find their way into our collective consciousness. This ancient legend, woven through centuries of human anxiety and fascination, has proven remarkably resilient. It transcends the confines of dusty tomes and whispered campfire tales, morphing and adapting to new anxieties. The werewolf's presence persists, not necessarily as a literal wolf man lurking in the woods, but as a potent symbol. It speaks to the wildness we suppress, the primal urges that lie dormant beneath the veneer of civilization, and the terrifying potential for transformation that resides within us all. But the legend of the werewolf wasn't confined to ancient texts. Throughout history, across Europe and beyond, whispers of transformations and monstrous encounters persisted. These weren't just fanciful tales. They were often rooted in the chilling testimonies of those who claimed to have witnessed the impossible. In medieval France, accounts emerged of men, often solitary figures or outcasts, who were believed to prowl the forests, their bodies contorting under the moon's glow. Villages, particularly those nestled close to dense wilderness, developed their own unique werewolf lore. These local legends, passed down through generations, often spoke of specific individuals or even families cursed with lycanthropy. They told of blood-curdling howls that echoed through the night, of livestock savaged, and of terrified villagers barricading their doors, praying for dawn to break the beast's reign. Such deeply ingrained beliefs shaped the very fabric of rural life, instilling a primal fear of the untamed world just beyond the hearth. The shadows of the past often harbor creatures that blur the lines between legend and reality. None loom larger in this regard than the beast of Gévaudan. In the mid-18th century, a series of savage attacks terrorized the French province of Gévaudan, leaving a trail of mutilated victims and a populace gripped by fear. Eyewitness accounts painted a terrifying portrait, a colossal animal, larger than any wolf, with a reddish coat, a powerful build, and a broad head. Some described a formidable chest, others a long neck. Speculation ran wild. Was it an unusually large wolf, perhaps driven by hunger or disease? Or was this a more monstrous entity, a creature of folklore made flesh? The descriptions varied, fueling debates that persist to this day. Could it have been an escaped lion, a bear, or even a hyena transported from distant lands? The sheer brutality and the creature's apparent intelligence in evading capture led many to believe it was something far more sinister than a mere wild animal. The mystery of Gévaudan remains one of history's most chilling encounters with the unknown. Beyond the European forests, the shadow of the Wolfman falls across the North American continent, though often in forms both ancient and distinct. Indigenous cultures, with their deep connection to the natural world, tell of shapeshifters, beings who could assume the guise of wolves, but rarely as a curse. These were often powerful shamans, medicine men, or spiritual guardians, capable of embodying the wolf's keen senses and ferocity for protection, wisdom, or to navigate the spirit world. These transformations were not necessarily acts of malice. They were integral to a complex cosmology. The Wendigo, for instance, a monstrous spirit associated with winter, greed, and cannibalism, sometimes manifests with lupine characteristics, a chilling embodiment of corrupted humanity and starvation. Other traditions speak of individuals who could call upon the wolf spirit, becoming allies in the hunt or protectors of their communities, their duality a testament to the potent symbolism of the wolf across diverse traditions. While the historical accounts of lycanthropy are steeped in legend, the werewolf's shadow continues to fall across our modern world. Across remote forests and even the fringes of urban sprawl, whispers persist. Online forums dedicated to cryptid encounters, local news archives, and the diligent work of dedicated researchers reveal a startling pattern of anecdotal evidence. These contemporary sightings often describe a creature of immense size, far exceeding that of any known canine, possessing eyes that gleam with an unsettling, almost intelligent light. Witnesses speak of unnatural speed, a blur of fur and power moving through the darkness with terrifying agility. Many accounts emphasize a chilling, almost human-like awareness in the beast's gaze, a sentience that transcends mere animal instinct. From the dense woods of North America to the shadowy valleys of Eastern Europe, these shared elements paint a consistent, disquieting picture of a creature that refuses to be confined to the pages of myth. Error generating this section. 500. An internal error has occurred. Please retry or report in HTTPS. Developers, generative AI, Google, guide, troubleshooting. Beyond the literal transformation, the werewolf has always served as a potent symbol, a mirror reflecting the darker currents simmering beneath the surface of our civilized lives. It speaks to the beast within, that primal core of instinct and desire that society compels us to suppress, to cage. For centuries, tales of lycanthropy have explored the terrifying possibility of these repressed urges breaking free, consuming the rational mind and unleashing chaos. This enduring myth taps into a universal human struggle, the constant tension between our ordered, social selves and the untamed wilderness of our own psyches. The man who becomes wolf is a vivid embodiment of what happens when the veneer of civilization cracks, when the wolfish appetites, lust, rage, hunger, overwhelm reason and morality. It is a cautionary whisper reminding us that the wildness we fear in the forest may, in fact, reside far closer to home, within the very chambers of our own hearts, But the werewolf's primal terror, its potent blend of human vulnerability and savage power, has not remained confined to dusty scrolls and ancient whispers. Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, the silver screen, the printed page, and the interactive world of gaming have breathed new, often complex life into this enduring myth. From the tragic transformations of classic horror films to the nuanced portrayals of internal struggle in modern literature and the visceral challenges of video games, popular culture continues to reimagine the werewolf. These adaptations, while sometimes diverging from strict folkloric roots, serve a vital purpose. They keep the legend alive, adapting its core anxieties about control, wildness, and the duality of human nature for each new generation, ensuring the beast within continues to haunt our collective imagination. And so, the legend of the werewolf continues to howl through the ages. From the ancient whispers of Lycanthropy, cursed by Zeus, to the terrifying transformations depicted in medieval woodcuts, this primal fear has been etched into our collective consciousness. We've explored the rituals, the superstitions, the very real anxieties that fueled these tales, from anxieties about predatory outsiders to the primal forces within ourselves. The werewolf, in its many forms, is more than just a creature of the night. It is a mirror, reflecting our deepest anxieties about control, about the wildness we try so desperately to tame. Perhaps the werewolf isn't just a monster of the past, but a reflection of our own enduring fears and the untamed wilderness that still resides, however deeply buried, within us all. A chilling reminder that the beast, in some form, may never truly be slain. The legend of the werewolf, a creature born of primal fear and the wild unknown, continues to haunt our collective imagination. We see echoes of this ancient terror in the rustling leaves of dense modern forests, in the stark beauty of desolate moors, places that still hold a whisper of untamed nature. Over centuries, these whispers solidified into tales, often appearing as fragmented evidence, blurry photographs and unsettling eyewitness accounts, visual echoes of encounters that blur the line between reality and myth. These stories, passed down through generations, find their modern expression not only in the hushed tones of those who claim to have seen, but also in the cinematic landscapes of iconic films, where the beast within is brought to terrifying life. From grainy reports to polished celluloid, the werewolf remains a potent symbol, a reflection of our own capacity for transformation, for the wildness that lies just beneath the surface.